think I am.
Okay. Well, hi. We're here again. 15 minutes to a stronger intuition. I'm Saba Hocek.
And I'm Victoria Wells.
So today, what somebody has asked us to do is talk about how do you know the difference between your inner voice versus your intuition. So your own fears, your own desires, whatever it may be, saying, yeah, you're going to get that job, or whatever it is, versus what the intuition is actually telling you to do.
Right. And it takes a little practice, but you can differentiate between your conscious thought and a message being sent to you. And for me, I don't know about you, but I think the key to being able to differentiate between intuition and a conscious thought is, number one, does it occur every time a certain situation pops up, a certain person is near you, or you think about them, or you're speaking with them, and is it accompanied by maybe a gut feeling, a feeling in your gut? And also, does this message pop up when you are thinking about something completely different, and all of a sudden there is this interjection with some kind of message?
Okay. And how about when consciously, though, saying, okay, I want to trust my intuition. I want to hear my intuition and know, is this the right move for me to make? Let's just say a job. Should I take this job? So unconsciously, I'm not waiting for that intuitive moment to pop up,
Right.
That feeling, but I'm very conscious of listening to my intuition and saying, okay, do I go with this job or not?
Well, I think that is when you really have to be aware of how your body is feeling, as well as, when you are asking or sort of contemplating, clearing your mind. First of all, it's very important that you clear your mind when you are sort of trying to get to that intuitive thought, so that your conscious mind isn't taking over. So just, taking some deep breaths, clearing your mind, and allowing that intuition to come in. So not only should it be something that you're not dwelling over, but you should feel sort of a response in your body as well.
Yeah. Now, what I find really helps a lot with that, going back to clearing your mind, is that you want to start off by saying, feeling like it's flushing out, flush the toilet, flush out any negative thoughts, any preconceived ideas, flush out and say, I trust the universe to guide me in the right direction. And just so that, you're to eliminate those fears. The second step I do after that is, if I am uncertain, my intuition is telling me whatever, take the job or whatever, then I'm going to revert to my body. So what you want to do with that is just sitting there and ask yourself a question. And you can even ask a question like, is my name Saba? Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, exhale, and feel there's a very subtle movement of the body. And generally, if it should be an answer of yes, my name is Saba, I can feel my body slowly moving back and forth. If, let's say, I say, should I reach out to this person? And maybe what I'll feel, and if you do this standing up, it's even more impactful, but be careful if you're standing up because you can lose balance. And you may feel this pushing back, almost like somebody's really pushing you back. Well, that's telling you don't go for it. Or are you being pushed forward, which means then go for it. Or again, if you're feeling yourself swaying front to back, that's a yes answer. If you feel yourself swaying side to side, that's a no. So if you're uncertain of whether you can trust your intuition, whether the voice that you're hearing, the gut feeling that you're having, and you're questioning it, then check it out with your body.
Yeah. I mean, I think people feel those things differently. I have not yet to feel they just push me out of the way and say, don't do it.
But you gotta try different stuff. You have to see what's gonna resonate with your body and your mind.
Yeah. As I say, everybody's a little bit different.
Sure.
You know? And I can say that since I experience a lot of intuition with my hands, like, oh, this person is feeling a certain way because I could feel it over their throat. They're not expressing themselves, and I feel a distinct feeling of a buzzing in my hands. If I were to move my hand away from their throat, I'm not going to feel anything. If I go back to their throat, I'm going to feel buzzing. So if you're a person who feels intuition through their hands, then that's how you're going to be able to confirm that, because you won't feel it in other parts of their body, but you're going to feel a distinct sensation when you pass certain parts of their body.
Right, which you want to therefore experiment. Check things that you know are true. If you know, for example, that, let's just say somebody's having some stomach issues, then hover your hand over your body, over their body, whoever it is, and see what you're going to feel. So that you have something measurable where you know the answer for sure.
Yeah, that actually brings up a good point. It's like, how do you validate these feelings? Well, if you're going to test these things out on a friend, and if you're going to test it with your hands, or you're just going to close your eyes and try to clear your mind and get some sort of sense about what somebody's going through, have your friend come in and be prepared with write it down and say be prepared with something you are going through right now physically. That's a good way to measure these things. So if your friend has, like, for instance, a stomach ache, or if they're having a splitting headache, say come in if you have like a physical issue, and I'm going to try to read you intuitively, and then either run your hands over them and try to pick up subtle sensations, and then say, is this what you're going through, based upon any sort of like energetic feeling that you're getting through your hand, or just some message that you're getting sent to you, in your head, and then ask them to validate it.
Right.
And the more that you practice, and the more that you quiet your mind, the more you're going to pick up on these things, and then your friend can validate it and say, yeah, that's what I'm feeling, or no, that's not what I'm feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And even if they come in telling you, then that's fine too. It's all you. We can tell you what we happen to feel. If somebody has heartache, if somebody has a headache or insomnia, or stomach issues. But what I feel is going to be a little bit different than what Victoria feels. It'll be different than what you're feeling.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is to feel some sort of energetic difference in your hands, and then to start documenting whatever that feeling is, so that you can see if it gets repeated again with somebody else.
Yeah, speaking about feelings and what certain feelings emotionally you can pick up on, what do you feel like, say, somebody comes in and you pick up that they are going through something. Let's just compare notes. So somebody sees you and they want you to tell them what they are experiencing emotionally, and you pick up that they're having relationship problems. How can you sense that? What do you feel?
Okay, so with a relationship, generally, it's going to be in my heart or my lungs. If it is that they're heartbroken, then it's almost like my chest is caving in. It feels very constricted. That's really what I'll feel. There'll be a heaviness in my heart area. Again, for example, if they're heartbroken and they haven't expressed it to the person, so they're holding these emotions in, I'll feel this tightness, almost like a choking feeling in my throat. If that person is afraid to express this heartache that they're feeling, I'll also start feeling some pain in my knees.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because knees are fear, so I feel it there. How about you?
Well, yeah, since I tend to pick up things with my hands, the most common thing that I feel when somebody is having relationship issues is when I run my hands over people's throats and their hearts. Because typically the combination of the disturbances in the two areas indicate there's a communication issue and that they're having some sort of relationship issue that has to deal with heart and love. And typically, what happens in relationships is that that they're having problems communicating with one another, and there is like a communication breakdown in the relationship. And usually, that's what they confirm with me.
Mm-hmm.
So if the two are going blah, 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 usually means there's a relationship problem and the communication is the issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what I can feel also is whether my body, going back to what I was saying earlier, is about the body movements. And a lot of indication will come through whether my body is wanting to move back forward or back. So for example, if I feel being this heaviness in my heart and my chest, and I'm pushed back, that's going to tell me that they were told or heard something that they were really surprised about, that they were, they were just like stunned. And on the other hand, if they're having this desire to go forward, then I'll feel a push from behind. Mm-hmm. So those are also some indications for me, at least.
Yeah. And another common thing that's really interesting, and you're always learning when you're an intuitive, is how physical issues sort of can also relate to emotional issues. So, for instance, if I am scanning somebody with my hand, right? If I feel cold air blowing out of an area, it could mean that there is some sort of like a neurological issue where there's no circulation, there's no electrical current running through. Like if somebody has scar tissue, that's where I feel cold air blowing out. Like there's no circulation of electrical current or blood flow in that area. But also, if I feel cold air to a lesser degree, flowing out of, say, the throat or the heart or any area, especially the throat, it means that somebody is not telling the truth. Or the heart area, which is very interesting, somebody does not have a lot of capacity for compassion. So I don't know if you experienced that.
No, that I haven't.
Yeah, and but I would suggest for anybody watching this, since there are energetic centers in your body, and this is pretty much how intuitives work, is to be able to pick these this energy up and to sort of decipher it as time goes by. You're going to learn how to decipher it as your intuitive abilities get stronger. I would suggest just going to all these areas in your body. There are 7 chakras in your body, and you can look that up online, or we'll talk later about it, right?
Yeah.
And just try to sense any energy by moving your hand forward and back. Like, just go to this one right here. This is your third eye chakra. Just move your hand back and forth and see if you feel anything. A very subtle tingling you might feel. And maybe just your heart chakra. There's just a couple of exercises, and see if you feel anything.
Yep. So we will leave you with those exercises till next week. Same time, same place, 5 o'clock Eastern time on Tuesdays. And if there's anything that you would like us to talk about, just go ahead and send us a note, and we'll go ahead and take care of that. We'll make sure to include it on our next week.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I wish I could read what this says on my phone, but your names are so small. But thanks for joining. All right.
Thank you. See you next week.
Bye. Bye.